Hello, and welcome to day 2 of Pioneer Startup Network. I'm Jeffrey Vera, alongside Natalie DeSenza. Today, we have 3 panelists to talk about gaming, connecting with fan bases, and working with Gen Z brands. To kick off the show, we have Julie Villalba. Villalba talks about the future of fan engagement and how the sports industry builds a more intense connection with their fan bases.
I'm the CEO and co-founder of Rebus. Rebus is a sports tech company. And actually what we do is we help sports teams and their sponsors generate revenue and fan engagement by powering unique products and meaningful ancillary experiences. And the way we do it is because we have an add-on engine and overlay widget that we can install in any of our clients' digital assets so that we can deliver meaningful ancillary experiences for the fans and also for the sponsors. Enjoy every moment. If you truly believe in what you are creating, I think that you should never give up, but always have a plan. But I think the key part of being an entrepreneur, especially in technology, is don't get too attached to your plan and have the ability and the possibility to flow and adapt to the different needs and changes of your environment, of your industry, and even of your clients or your customers. And I think one of the things that actually like 2020 taught us was just to live one day at a time. And I think that's the most important part of being an entrepreneur. I've always been a huge sport fan. I love all kind of sport. I've practiced sports all my life. And for me, this is like an amazing journey to actually use my experience as an entrepreneur and also as a tech entrepreneur to try to deliver new solutions for this industry that I love so much, and that I really think that even though we as fans sometimes think that sports industry is like very innovative, actually when you dive deep into this industry, you see that there is a lot of opportunities.
Villalba's session, Experiences Worth Remembering, a founder's journey, is at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you don't want to miss that.
Connecting with fan bases is a huge part in the sports world. Here with some tips about how to be more compelling with your brand is Alyssa Callahan.
If you've ever struggled to write compelling content or messaging for your brand, you may need help working through your brand's voice and tone. This aspect of your branding can be a deal maker or a deal breaker when it comes to your audiences choosing to engage with you. One of our favorite activities for helping brands work through their voice and tone is through a fun activity we call the cocktail party. In this activity, you'll grab a blank sheet of paper or a template from our toolkit and imagine that you're describing your brand as if it were a real person. How would you describe them? How do they look? How do they sound? How do they act? Is there anyone else you might compare them to that most people would know of? Capture your descriptions. Now imagine it's a bit later on in the night and you've run into this person again after they've had one too many adult beverages. The filter is now off. What might they say now? How do they act? How would you describe them? Capture your thoughts and interactions. Just like humans, brands are living, breathing entities with unique characteristics, which is why we're drawn to some more than others. By personifying your brand, you'll be able to more clearly communicate thoughts and ideas through a more genuine human voice with consistency. By exploring the second interaction in detail, we can look at potential pitfalls for where we may inadvertently go a bit too far with how we leverage our personality. In any event, we'll raise a glass to crafting yours.
That's a great strategy from Callahan. Our next panelist works for Collective, which is a platform connecting college creators with Gen Z brands. Here to talk more about it is Kelsey Davis.
We're really going to be talking about how Generation Z is essentially out to democratize the future of work economy. When we think about, the year of 2030 looking out, Generation Z is going to operate 30% of that overall labor force. And we think about how we work, the brands that we want to work for, the types of consumer behaviors and interests that we have around what the future of work looks like, as well as the future of content. That's going to be a dramatically different world. And we're hoping to, build the platform that supports that economy. As Generation Z people, creating content is something that is as innate in us as the way that we think about hygiene or waking up and taking a shower, right? We get on TikTok, we're on Snapchat, we're on Instagram, we're constantly consuming content and creating content. So what does it look like if we can have a world where we take that thing that we're already doing and we could figure out how we could on-ramp ourselves, create the tools to actually scale that better, create better content, and then ultimately, get paid to do what we love. So that's ultimately, what we are here to do, is to figure out, talking on the development piece, on the content piece, and then ultimately being able to connect people holistically. If you're interested in creating work, or working in this autonomous futuristic way, by connecting with brands in a way that is based on your interests, your skill sets, your identity, then come pull up.
Davis's session, Gen Z, Our Future of Work, is today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so stay tuned for that.
For all the Twitch streamers out there, don't worry, we got you. Our last panelist is Katie Bent. She works for Blurp, which creates sound effects on Twitch live streams. Let's hear more from Bent.
When I find somebody who I feel like has a creative pull in some way, I say, hey, you could do this on Twitch. You could do this on Twitch. Musicians primarily. I'm like, why don't you just do that on Twitch? You could literally be doing what you love, especially during this pandemic. This is the most important thing. But even if you just want to be a gamer, even if you just want to go and play some video games, do that just because you're bored, and it develops into something new, you can literally do anything on Twitch. And I think that the first step is figuring out what that is that you gravitate towards, whether it's music, whether it's gaming, whether it's, sewing, whatever. Somebody's going to be interested in it. Just jump on Twitch, do the research of, getting basic, getting basic cameras, basic microphones, and just go. I honestly, that's the kind of person I am, is I'm a jump right into it kind of person. And so that's how I think that Twitch should be. You just jump right into it and, you learn along the way. Another piece of advice that I'd like to give is connections are huge. Connections are huge. And networking, which is a very big, scary word. A lot of people don't like the word networking because they deem it as something that might be shady. That's not it. That's not it. You can go and seek out people that you actually like and people that you'd actually like to learn from and say, hey, I really like your stuff. Like, I would love to gain more knowledge from you, maybe collab with you. It's not shady. It's one of the biggest, most important things with Twitch is connection and networking.
Bent has 2 sessions today. The first one is Twitch, growing your stream at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by Which Type of Streamer Are You at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss either of those. Thank you for tuning in. Come back tomorrow as we preview more amazing segments coming this week. Make sure to follow Pioneer Startup Network on Instagram and YouTube. I'm Natalie DeSenza alongside Jeffrey Vera. We'll see you next time on Pioneer Startup Network.